we're really excited to have you all here today to announce the 2025 Florida Python Challenge dates. The Florida Everglades it's an iconic, well-known, internationally known ecosystem of great importance. And I'm not going to steal any of Alligator Ron's words, because he's going to tell you all about the Everglades, but suffice to say, between the Water Management District and the Corps of Engineers and everybody in between, we're spending billions of dollars to do the world's largest ecosystem restoration that's ever been attempted by man. So, that being said, we want to protect that investment. And we have a problem with invasive species, and particularly Burmese pythons, and that's why we're here today. The python is an invasive species. It's having devastating effects on the ecology of the Everglades, and we've got several programs that we employ between us and the South Florida Water Management District to try to address that issue. And this is one tool in that toolbox. The Florida Python Challenge is an initiative that really complements many of FWC's other efforts to combat invasive species in Florida. And so again, one of the tools in the toolbox. Before I go any further, I do want to mention some dignitaries that we have here today. From the South Florida Water Management District, we have Executive Director Drew Bartlett. We have Alligator Ron Bergeron and his daughter Diamond. Governing Board Member Robert Spotswood Jr. So thank you for the district. The district is an integral partner in this, an equal partner in these efforts, and we really thank their commitment to removing invasive species. I also am very proud to say that we have Pedro Ramos here, the Superintendent of Everglades and Dry Tortugas National Park, one of our federal partners. Very excited to have Pedro here. From DEP, Jason Andriata, representing Secretary Lambert. Jason, thank you for coming and showing your commitment, DEP's commitment to assisting with invasive species removal. The intent of the Florida Python Challenge is to bring awareness to this important issue and engage the public in participating in Everglades conservation through invasive species removal. We hope that this activates people to be part of the long-term solution of managing invasive wildlife in Florida. And I have the great pleasure to announce that registration for the 2025 Florida Python Challenge is now open. And this year, the competition will run from 12:01 a.m. on Friday, July 11th, until 5 p.m. on Sunday, July 20th. I should also mention that we have a very exciting addition to this year's event, which was the inclusion of Everglades National Park as one of our 8 official Florida Python Challenge competition locations. And I would really love to have my good friend Pedro Ramos come up representing the park and tell us a little bit more about the park and its decision to join us.
Hi, Tom. Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? It is great to be here in the Everglades, Everglades National Park, right across the road on the other side. The National Park Service has had a very, very long-standing relationship with the state of Florida, both with the Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission and with the South Florida Water Management District, managing fish and wildlife here in the state, but also managing exotic invasions of animals and plants. A lot of attention on the animal side of the invasion and the problem, but let's not forget that there's a lot of weeds out there that are also threatening the environment, and we need to stay on top of that work also. I want to thank you, Tom, and the executive director who couldn't be here today, Roger. I know that he's here in spirit for celebrating yet another Python Challenge. So I've been at a number of these challenge kickoffs now for a while. I think I've been at most of them. Thinking about it in my drive here, I thought about the first one, an alligator. You may be one of the few people here that were there at that first one as well. You may have been there as well, Tom. And I remember that when we celebrated that first Python Challenge here in Florida, the executive director was Nick Wiley. And there were skeptics. My agency has skeptics in it, suggesting that perhaps the Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission had lost its mind. What were they thinking? And fast forward a decade later, clearly the state of Florida, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission had not lost its mind. They were very intentional. They knew exactly what they were doing. And more than a decade later, the Python Challenge continues to play an instrumental role in advancing our efforts around exotic invasions here in the state of Florida. It is not the silver bullet. There is no silver bullet to this problem, animal or plant invasions. It takes a lot of tools in the box to be put out there and be used. And raising awareness, as you said, Tom, is one of the most important things that we can do. And another important thing that we have to continue doing is looking for ways for Floridians and the American people to continue engaging themselves in being part of the solution to the problem. Look, we are restoring America's Everglades at the tune of $20+ billion of our money. We shall not, and I will use that word, we shall not complete Everglades restoration, because I know that we will cross the finish line and complete Everglades restoration. But we shall not complete Everglades restoration for a whole bunch of weeds and animals, exotic animals, that don't belong here in the first place, that are creating havoc in the ecosystem. That would not be mission accomplished. And it takes a team to get this work done. The success that the state has had, not only organizing but executing this event, is exactly what got Everglades National Park through the finish line to be included this year in ways that it has not been included in the past. We're going to have access in Shark Valley. We're going to have access in the L67 canal. We're going to have access into the main park road, and people will be able to walk anywhere in the park to look for these snakes and help us for 9 days thin out that population, even if it's just a little bit. So congratulations to the commission, congratulations to the district. Let's keep the pressure on. Let's keep being innovative. Let's keep being open-minded. Let's keep being creative. Yes, let's keep investing in science. And let's have a great challenge in June. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Pedro. And now, well, a man who really needs no introduction, but I'll just say the godfather of the Everglades, Alligator Ron Bergeron. Please come up and say a few words.
I've always wanted to be a godfather. But welcome to the beautiful Everglades, one of the natural wonders of the world. Aren't we blessed? And, you know, I was driving here today, and I was just thinking about the first time I entered the Everglades. And sometimes I don't like telling these stories because you can tell how old I am. But 1946, the year before Everglades National Park became a national park. And how blessed am I to be raised in the Gladesman's culture and raised in the beauty of God's landscaping. I am very blessed, and I fell in love with it. You know, when I entered the Glades, I remember the wildlife, the sunsets, and God's landscaping. And I'm blessed to be here and be a part of a solution with our federal partners, our state partners, and all of our stakeholders in the environmental groups and the conservation groups as we go forward with the largest environmental restoration in the history of the world. I would like to recognize a fellow board member that was just inducted, Robert Spotswood Jr. Where are you at, Robert? Robert's the next generation. I served with his father with the FWC, and you certainly have a great role model with your father, Robert, and look forward to working with you in the future. I also would like to introduce my daughter, which is the Vice President of the Bergeron Everglades Foundation, the next generation too, along with Robert, to learn and be the next generation that can save one of the natural wonders of the world. And I do want to congratulate my daughter. She finally caught her first python about 3 months ago. She was hunting with the Mikasukis and the staff of Marco Rubio in the Sacred Triangle. And congratulations, Diamond. Now you're a true Glades woman, okay? You know, 10 years ago, I remember under the leadership of Rodney Beretta and the python, an animal that can get 200 feet long and, 20 feet long and weigh 200 pounds. And that's destroying the natural food chain. And what are we going to do? And under the leadership of the FWC and Rodney Beretta, and I'm blessed to be a part of that, we started the Python Challenge. We recognized it could be risky, but I remember the first press conference, and there had to be 300 of the press from all over the world that attended that. And I can remember saying to the public and to the world that this snake has become top of the food chain and can destroy the food chain of the Everglades, and without a healthy food chain, you cannot have a healthy environment. And that was the first Python Challenge, and I'm proud to say that we went out and we caught a python as well. I want to say today that it's all about we. It's about our federal partners, our state partners, and all of our stakeholders, the environmental groups, the conservation groups, the hunters, the fishermen, the hikers, the bikers, the wildlife photographers. And the Python Challenge is not just catching pythons. That's a part of it. But it's educating the public. So when you're in the Everglades, all of the groups that recreate in the Everglades, to learn how to remove a python safely year-round. So I want to thank all of our stakeholders. You are part of this, saving the Everglades, and removing these pythons is a part of Everglades restoration, restoring the Everglades. So the day we can control all of this, working together, will be a great day for the Everglades. Everglades restoration is moving at an extreme fast pace, and I want to thank Governor DeSantis for his leadership. I remember meeting the governor before he was elected. He come in my office so many times I needed a traffic light to get him in and out, learning about the environment. And he has lived up to his full commitment, understanding that the future of Florida is Everglades restoration. You know, the Everglades and the journey of water is the life of Florida, from sawgrass to seagrass. We live on a peninsula. Without the Everglades replenishing the aquifer, we don't have any water in Florida, the most important resource on the planet. So we're not just saving the wildlife and God's landscaping, we're actually saving ourselves and future generations. And it's important as we go forward that we do have jobs and economical growth in this beautiful state. In certain areas like the Everglades that provides our drinking water and provides the quantity, quality, timing, and distribution of water into our estuaries in the Gulf and the Atlantic and Florida Bay, Everglades National Park, Biscayne Bay, and the 10,000 islands. We're going to make this happen. And I've always said if you can send someone to the moon in a rocket ship, we should be able to save our planet. So I want to thank all of our stakeholders, thank our federal and state partners, thank the FWC for your leadership, and I'm extremely honored to be a part of this. So God bless America, long live the Everglades.
Thank you, Alligator Ron. Well, we wouldn't be able to do this without some amazing sponsors. And I want to give a shout out and give some time to some of those sponsors. Our platinum level sponsors with donations of $10,000 each are Inversa Leathers and Rotary Clubs of Florida. We have, thank you, yes, please. We have gold level sponsors with donations of $5,000 each, which is Bergeron Everglades Foundation, thank you, Diamond, Edison National Bank, Bank of the Islands, and the Garcia Companies, a new one this year. So thank you to those sponsors. And I want to give a special shout out to the Fish and Wildlife Foundation of Florida for helping coordinate all of this and really being a fantastic partner and supporter of the FWC and the Florida Python Challenge. So with that, I would like to ask Henry Frey to come up, representing Inversa Leathers, say a few words.
Good morning. My name is Henry Foray, and on behalf of Inversa Leathers, we are honored to again be sponsoring the Florida Python Challenge. It's a platinum sponsor. Inversa is an ecosystem services and materials company that builds supply chains of invasive species and turns them into high-grade leather for the fashion industry. Our success is the success of our natural resources and native animals. This world-famous event that drives so much awareness, visibility, and action to our greatest invasive species threat here in Florida is a significant undertaking and would not be possible without the dedication and leadership of several key players. We extend our sincere gratitude to the FWC, Roger Young, Chairman Beretta, Tom Reinert, Python Working Team, to Alligator Ron, Robert Spotsford Jr., and the rest of the district, and Pedro Ramos and the National Park Service this year, for their tireless efforts in organizing and executing this vital conservation initiative, among everything else they do to serve this beautiful place. We also want to thank Governor DeSantis and his administration for his unwavering commitment to the preservation of Florida's natural treasures and consistent advancement of our state into the future. Florida is, and always has been, a model for how other states and countries manage invasive species. And with every challenging invasive, Florida's leadership has developed solutions and innovations to counter them at every turn. Here at Inversa, we are thrilled to be pushing those boundaries alongside. As we're well familiar in Florida, the quote by Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, she famously said that there are no other Everglades in the world. I'd like to take that one step further and say there is no other Florida in the world, and that there is no Florida without the Everglades. From supporting our drinking water to supporting the economy here in South Florida, our success is the Everglades success. So with that, we want to wish all the participants luck. And if anyone wants to sell their pythons, come approach us. We're here. And listen, it's a good day for the Everglades, and unfortunately, a bad day to be a python. Thank you.
Thank you, Henry. I'd like to now introduce Daryl Keys with the Rotary Club of Florida, and I just met Daryl in this group, and I'm very excited that they're now a part of this program. We're very excited to bring them on, and I realized that I didn't give Daryl my card, so I'm going to pull out my Python skin wallet here and make sure he has my card. Daryl, thank you. We appreciate you, and please say a few words.
Thank you and good morning, everybody. It's a great pleasure to be here. My name is Daryl Keys. I'm from the Rotary Club of Charlotte Harbor Sunset in Port Charlotte, Florida. And I'm representing the Rotary Clubs of Florida, which consists of 450 clubs and over 14,000 Rotarians in this state. So I appreciate this opportunity to speak as a first-time Platinum sponsor about Rotary International and its unwavering commitment to the environment, with a special focus obviously on our role as a platinum sponsor of the annual Everglades Python Challenge. Well, Rotary International has a long-standing history of being a champion of environmental causes. For decades, our 1.4 million members worldwide in 35,000 clubs have spearheaded projects that promote sustainability and protect natural resources, from providing clean water and sanitation to supporting sustainable agriculture and renewable energy. Rotary's efforts are diverse and impactful. We believe in taking action to preserve our planet for future generations, and our global network allows us to turn that belief into a reality. As you know, the Everglades Python Challenge is an annual event that tackles a critical environmental issue: the invasion of Burmese pythons in Florida's Everglades. These non-native snakes threaten the region's wildlife, as we've heard, preying on birds, mammals and reptiles and disrupting the ecosystem's delicate balance. The challenge invites participants from across the US and beyond to hunt and remove these pythons. It's both a conservation effort and a way to engage the public in protecting the Everglades' unique biodiversity. As a platinum sponsor, this enables our members, I mentioned before, there are over 14,000 in Florida. It allows our members to provide essential financial support to the Everglades Python Challenge. This sponsorship reflects our commitment to environmental conservation and our core value of collective action. In 2024, 857 participants from 33 states and Canada removed 195 pythons, with the top hunter capturing 20 snakes. Since its inception, the Python Challenge has removed thousands of pythons, helping to safeguard the Everglades, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, International Biosphere Reserve, and a wetland of international importance. One Rotary member who found out about our sponsorship and who will be joining the challenge in July said, "It's going to be tough, but knowing I will be helping protect such a unique ecosystem gives me all the motivation I need. I believe across 14,000 members in Florida, there'll be more than that one member participating in this challenge." Also, Rotary's dedication to educational literacy can create an awareness opportunity. It's not just about books and classrooms, it's about empowering the next generation to be stewards of our planet. Through programs like Interact Clubs, we engage youth aged 12 to 18 in hands-on projects that blend service with environmental education. From recycling to cleanups to tree planting, our Rotary Youth Exchange Program and Rotary Youth Leadership Program immerse young leaders in global challenges, including sustainability, and inspiring them to become advocates for a greener future. Through this partnership with schools and supporting literature initiatives, we can weave environmental curricula into the fabric of education, ensuring that our young minds grow with deep-rooted respect for the earth. Let's harness these opportunities to cultivate future generations that not only read about change, but who deliver and live that change. And this challenge and all the partners involved will actually supplement the knowledge that they have, and we can build on these partnerships to ensure that awareness really takes hold. So in closing, Rotary's environmental commitment means that we're continuously seeking ways to protect our planet, and we invite everyone to join us. Whether joining a local club, volunteering, supporting critical initiatives like this, or spreading awareness, together we can ensure that ecosystems like the Everglades can thrive for future generations. We're very proud to be a platinum sponsor, We look forward to cementing our relationships with all of the stakeholders and partners. It's a pleasure for us to be here today, and together, let's keep leading the way in environmental stewardship. Thank you.
Thank you, Daryl, and thank you, Rotary Clubs of Florida and Inversa Leathers, for those critical platinum sponsorships. Registered participants in the Florida Python Challenge have the chance to win a share of $25,000 in prizes thanks to our generous sponsors, including an ultimate grand prize of $10,000 for most pythons removed. This effort will help raise awareness about invasive species in Florida and removing invasive pythons specifically from the Everglades. Members of the public that are interested in participating are required to take an online training course and pass a quiz before they can register for the Florida Python Challenge. We also offer training classes, hands-on examples, and video examples of how to do this safely and humanely. Visit flpythonchallenge.org to register for the competition, take the required online training, view the optional training opportunities, and find other resources for taking part in this year's Florida Python Challenge. And with that, we'll bring this media event to a close, but we do have some photos we'd like to take with some of our sponsors and our partners with a very large and well-behaved python. And then we will have a safe capture demo for media to participate in, and anybody else who wants to sign a waiver and wrestle a python, we're going to do that as well. So thank you, everybody, for being here, and we look forward to a very successful 2025 Florida Python Challenge.